Well, hello everyone, it's Hex again. I have another video for you on Snapshot 1.13 with some decoration ideas. Let's take a look at some of these ideas. I have several fish tanks, and then I have a couple of ideas with the coral blocks. They're more like showing what you might be able to do rather than actual design ideas, because I think that most of them look pretty bad. But the fish tanks I think are really cool, so I think you're gonna like this. Here we go. Okay, so the first fish tank here, what you can see is, well, quite full of fish. We've got the tropical fish. I love these guys. They make wonderful fish tanks because there's so many different colors, so many different things going on here. The puffer fish included with them are a nice addition, and then some cod I think are cool, and then the salmon. Awesome. And then also the coral blocks, they make the fish tank really nice and colorful and fun. One thing that you might notice about the 1.13, let's see, I am in snapshot 18W10C, I think is what you say. 18W10C, and they have changed some of the water stuff. So they made it so that when you put a plant here or a bubble tower, that it doesn't affect kind of the texture of the water. So it used to be that if I put a plant here or a texture block, that I could basically figure out and make the water extremely clear against the glass. And they kind of changed that. It's not as bad as looking down from the top. Like if you look down from the top, you can see all of those like kind of light reflections, I guess is what they're supposed to be. I don't think you can see that, but it does look a bit on the murkier side. So I'm a little disappointed in that. Let me show you the inside of this thing in case you want to attempt to build one of these. Basically, all I did was I filled it full of water, and then I just went around and added some features. So you basically have to fill it full of water first and then put the coral in, because if you try to build it out of coral, obviously the coral is dead because it's not touching any water. But look at these fish, man. I don't know if they have an algorithm that just picks random colors and puts them on the tropical fish. Because there seems to be like three models. There's like kind of this square body one, there's kind of a longer body one, and there's one in between that, if I can find him. He's kind of square bodied, but he has more like fin to him or something. Anyways, I'll try to point one out if I can see it. But then also, they seem to be different colors. Like, I don't know if there's like several different color schemes, or if there's only like an algorithm, or if it's like just random. I don't know. But anyways, that's what we've got there. But so then you put the coral along the side, and then I just kind of put like a couple of blocks here to make sort of like a little cavern that the fish might hide in, and then a couple of blocks here, and then some plants around, and that's about it. Pretty easy little way to make a nice fish tank. Love watching these fish. I could sit here all day. So the next designs are basically incorporating the coral blocks into above ground designs. Now, so my first thought was, what if we tried to mix the coral blocks with some of our other gray blocks, like the concrete bricks and the regular stone and cobblestone and andesite and stuff like that, polished andesite, those sorts of things. So this is what kind of the effect you would get. And there's different types of the dead coral now. I think this is the blue one, and that's the magenta or purple. I think this is the pink one, and then the purple one is like one of these ones or something like that. Anyways, you have to kind of get used to which one's which, but they all have their own unique little pattern. The only thing about them is the new textures seem to have a bit of this. It's not a pink color, but what is that? Brown, kind of like an off purple color that doesn't really mix well with the gray necessarily. So I don't know, maybe you like that, maybe you don't. I don't know. It kind of depends on what you're going for. Let me clear this weather. There we go. Sorry about that. So anyway, that's kind of the effect that you could get if you mix the two together. This is just a mixture of just the dead coral blocks, which I think kind of looks either looks kind of cool or it looks a bit creepy. I'm not sure what to make of it, but if in case you were wondering what it might look like, that's what it would look like. Okay. Here it is kind of a pathway. And then I also put these. This is a coral block there, and that's a coral block there. And all I did was put a water bucket underneath it. So if I break this coral block, you would just find a water source underneath it, and you can put them above ground. I was kind of thinking of them as being like some sort of like cubic like flower or something, like a hexagonal flower. I don't know, man. Anyway, that's kind of a cool idea. I actually really like the way they look. They look cool above ground, but yeah. Here's a way that you could use them sort of on the ground as maybe like a carpet pattern or something, or perhaps just a colored pathway like the yellow brick road we've got going on here. Or maybe they would work well as a carpet. The yellow ones, they don't look And the red ones, they don't look super corally from up close. The red ones do when you're far away. They look like a coral plant, but the yellow ones, they don't. So if you're really interested in like a yellow carpet and you don't really want the concrete or the wool blocks, then maybe this is the way to go. Unfortunately, what you have to do to get this to work is to put a water source block underneath them, and then it's actually, I don't care if breaking this, you can see that it's actually just, even if you set them on top of water that's flowing, it seems to make it so that you can place them and they don't die. So that's kind of cool. So there's some different decoration ideas you could do with that. You could use these as a floor block. As long as you got some water underneath them, then that would work. And I'm stuck on my own decoration. I tried to make some columns out of the blue ones. I don't know. This is the one that's super derpy. And then again, kind of like a carpet here. Maybe the yellow would go better because it looks more like a carpet pattern. And the blocks, are they like directional? I wonder if they're directional now. Let's see. If I take that's not it, this one and put it this way, will that make it different direction? No. They don't seem to be directional. So if you lay them down, you've only got the one direction as a choice, I think. Unless my eyes are deceiving me here. But you can kind of see the idea. See, and the second you put it not next to a water source block, it dies. I kind of hope that they make a delay on that so that if you make a mistake, you have a few seconds to pick it up before it dies and you lose your coral. But yeah, I kind of think that looks like some sort of ugly, like popcorn colored carpet or something. And then some towers. So how are these towers working? All I have is just water in the center of the tower. This is kind of an interesting idea. What if you could make it so that your carpet changed colors? Oh no! My carpet changed colors. The only problem is you can't change it back. I don't think. No, you can't change it back. So underneath here, all I have is a water source, a dispenser with a water bucket in it, and then when you step on it, obviously it takes the water away and everything turns to black. You could do the same thing with like a column. Let's check this out. Oop. Oh no! That's kind of fun. I've been waiting to do that. I haven't actually tested it because now I have to rebuild the entire thing in order to make it work again. But that's the idea. I know that it doesn't make sense is from a biological standpoint, but from a cool design standpoint, it would be really cool if the coral came back to life if you rehydrated it. That'd be really cool. Then we could have color changing bricks. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Here's a little fountain that I made. There's actually pink coral in the middle, although it definitely does look like lava. So this one's kind of broken in this with the newer textures, but you can kind of see what that would look like if you made a fountain out of it. I was thinking kiddie pool on this one. I was thinking cute little pink kiddie pool with the pink little border on it and then blue on the bottom. Unfortunately, like I said, they changed the textures, and so now it looks like 100 tiny little aliens that are trying to eat your children. So that doesn't work anymore very well. Maybe if we used a different color as the bottom, that might be better. Like switch it to this yellow. And then this yellow coral sitting on top of it just to show you that you can place them on top of water and it will still be, it won't die. But also I was thinking of it, maybe there's like a little floaty floating in the kiddie pool. So that was the idea. And speaking of, all the kids have to get out of the pool now because it's raining. You don't want lightning in the pool. Okay, clear the weather. All right, so that's that one. This one here, I was just kind of showing you the difference between the concrete block, the purple concrete, the purple coral, and the purple or magenta wool. Here's the first of our fish tanks. This was when the little tropical fish came out, I thought, what if we collected all the tropical fish and put each one in their own little tiny fish tank? And so this is what I came up with. So in here we have one, and in here we have one. And I like this idea, but I kind of wish that the glass was a little clearer, to be honest. But it works. It works. There's one, and there's one, and there's three. Oh. There's one, and there's one, and there's one. So you could make like a whole row of these and collect as many different types as you could find in your world and something like that. Next little fishy tank, we've got this one here. Actually, this is not a little one. This one's a little bit bigger, and I was playing around again, kind of with this idea of having the coral blocks on the back. I also wanted to put a different front on it, so I decided to go with kind of a broken up front so that it's a little wider. So it actually goes all the way to here, but then we have these dark oak stripped log pillars right here and here, so you can kind of have these little cubby holes. For some reason, the tropical fish just love this little spot right here. Love the little coral plants. They're very cool. Very, very cool. Love these little coral plants. Here's another tank that I thought would be good for a display tank. So I was thinking of if you put a coral block in here and a fish, that would kind of be cool too. Except the fish seem to like to hide in the coral, which is also, it's kind of cute, I guess. But it doesn't really display your fish very well. But it's kind of another display type thing to, oh, there they go. There they pop up. And then you can check out your fish that you've collected in your world, another collection type thing. So then we've got the stripped oak wood here. And then I did some coral in the background, and on the sides I put just prismarine. And then I'll just swing around the back so you can see what I did. Just like that. Boop. Here's my favorite fish tank. Arguably yours as well. We've got lots of the coral plants in here. We've got some bubbles going on. I put these bubbles in the front because they were making the glass clear all the way up to the top. Except for these two blocks in the middle. But now that's nerfed or whatever. So that's too bad. But I think it still works really nicely, and I made the front out of quartz so it looks super fancy. This is the super fancy fish tank, and we've got the turtle in there. This one's pretty big. It goes back quite a ways. I think it's like 7 blocks deep and like 5 blocks tall or something like that. Pretty big fish tank, but it's pretty nice. I really like this one. Got the salmon in there. Got the codfish. Got some of our little puffers over here puffing up. That one's cool. The front of it, if you're wondering how I did this facade, is just some stair quartz blocks. So the actual fish tank, like the glass, is actually right here. And then this is just a couple of stair blocks to kind of get this eye kind of shape, like this oval shape out of it. All right, I have 3 smaller designs next. So this next design is more like a fish tank you might have in your house, like a normal just house. So then these are some trapdoors down here and some oak trapdoors, dark oak trapdoors on the top. Inside, we've got some water source blocks with some tropical fish, a little bit of sand, and some water plants. Like that. This is the same sort of thing, except sideways, and I put a cobblestone wall in the middle there. Now, currently, in this particular snapshot, you actually have to place a water source into the cobblestone wall to get it to be hydrated like that, or waterlogged, I guess they're calling it. But hopefully in future snapshots you won't have to do that. It'll just waterlog itself if it's in the water. So we'll see. The outside of this is birch trapdoors on the top, and then some lighting in the back. Down here we have some blue concrete. I like that. I've been using a lot of blue glass because I feel like it's the best way to go as far as visibility. But I did try the clear glass. Now, this fish tank actually is supposed to look a lot better than this. It did with the blue glass. But I wanted to show you the difference between, this is just standard glass, and the dark blue glass I think is easier to see through, but the main reason is because the texture on the front of it like matches the water, so it sort of isn't as obvious as this texture right here that does not match the water, these stupid diagonal things. But if you look like right through it, like on a spot, like you can see that it's actually clearer. So if you had a texture pack and were able to remove these when 1.13 actually releases, and we're able to remove the little dumb diagonal things, I think the clear glass might actually be the way to go, especially if it was like connected. Clear glass, I think that if you were making fish tanks out of that, it would be much better. Okay, this last one is just to kind of illustrate the different colors of glass and what they look like. So this is your plain, just regular old glass blocks, and so again it seems super clear except for the diagonal thingies, which are really obtrusive. This is white stained glass, which doesn't seem to work at all. This is the gray, like the light gray stained glass. This is the regular gray stained glass, which oddly and surprisingly actually works pretty good. I think the dark blue, the gray, and the regular glass are kind of the best ones to look through. This one here, the black, I sort of like the black, but again, you've got these obtrusive lines on there. That is a brown, and then we have light blue, cyan, and I know these look like the same color, huh? Maybe they're not. Maybe one of them's not cyan. I'm pretty sure it's light blue and then cyan, but they look the same with the water behind it. And then the dark blue. Well, this is the last fish tank. Wait a minute. Wait. I think, uh-oh. I think I'm the fish. Yep. It's a player tank. It's a player tank. Get me out of here. Help. Help. Get me out of here. Ah! I'm stuck in a tank. I took a nap in my little tank. That's good. The fish didn't bother to give me anything to actually craft, but they did try to make me comfortable. They gave me a crafting table, and they gave me a furnace, and they gave me my favorite stripped birch logs, and they gave me a nice bed to sleep in. So those fish are looking out for me, I think. Anyways. Well, even though I'm stuck in this fish tank, yeah, I hope you really liked the video. If you really liked it, go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to see more like it, then go ahead and subscribe. But for now, and until next time, this has been Hex, and God bless. I'm stuck in a fish tank!